Hello. Today we're going to discuss what would we do or what will we do if our husband has passed away. Would we stay in our same home? Well, if you're happy there and you are capable of keeping up the house, doing the lawn and weeds and the upkeep of a house, and you love the neighborhood and you're close to family, stay there. Or if you're not capable of doing the yard work, but you have the money to have somebody come and do it, that's a good idea too. If your health is bad where you can't, well, if you need to be in a wheelchair or you can't get up and down stairs, you possibly could do most of your living on one floor. If you've got a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room, there's no reason you can't do that. So, that's the first alternative you could do. Or you don't have to look so far ahead that one day I'll be in a wheelchair. You may never be, or never be using a cane. May never do that. I'll be 82 in December, and I'm feeling really good. Pray to God I stay this way. So I'm not looking at that either. But if you feel that's maybe coming on, it's better to make the move while you can. Now, if you've got a big home that you've lived in for years and it's just packed out with stuff, maybe with me, my husband was a carpenter and a mechanic and a rehabber. He did all of this. So, oh my goodness, so many times we've moved and I've sold stuff and got rid of it. It just was never ending, it seemed like. So, if you're widowed now and you're thinking about possibly in the near future or in a year or two of moving, start getting rid of stuff now and just keep your favorite things that you really like. Don't try to hold on to everything. And then we always think that maybe our kids will want our stuff. They usually don't want our junk. They just have a totally different style. All right, so I'll continue with this. All right, so maybe now you've decided, I am going to move. Now, big question. Where are you going to move? Are you going to move in with your family, your children? In some families, that would perfectly work. If all of you are basically on the same wavelength about things, and you get along with them really well in their lifestyle. Are you someone who gets up early in the morning and they sleep real late? Are they loud and you're quiet? Do they eat totally different than you eat? Do they watch totally different things on television than you do? Well, you could always have a TV in your room. But, it's a lot to think. Sometimes it absolutely works out. But I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't because you're imposing on your children into their life. Some of them love it. Some of them think they love it, and then they don't after you move in. So myself, I want to be on my own as long as I can. So I think if we're thinking about any assisted living and stuff, probably my thought is one of the best places to live would be in some, maybe like an area where they do all the maintenance. They cut the lawn. I mean, it's going to cost you though, but they cut the lawn. If you have any problems with the roof or siding or anything on the outside, they'll take care of it. And some of them will even take care of things that are on the inside. So that is off your mind. You don't have to worry about that. Your whole life will change. We have to get out of the realm of we're taking care of somebody else all the time. It's you. We're taking care of you. But if you want to do some voluntary work for the church or somebody, hey, that's wonderful. There's nothing makes you feel better than to do something for somebody else. It just helps you so much. All right. So, oh my, there's many options, things to think about. Well, one, do you want to move out of state? If you're really getting toward the end of your life, like latter 80s or something, you probably don't want to move away from family totally. But if you're in your 60s, 70s, I don't care for the climate in Florida as far as the heat. And I was only there for, a couple times for, as far as renting a place, for about 2 weeks with my dog, my husband and I, and we were in a mobile home park. I guess they don't call them mobile homes though. But it was really nice. It was a nice place, and it had a bridge with a pond and a big long bridge, and you could walk over that, and there were beautiful flowers. And there was always somebody sitting out, and always somebody else walking their dog, always someone to talk to. And they had a community building where they had something going all the time, and church services on Sunday, and pickleball and all the stuff like this. I could see living like that. I could. And I have some friends that also live in a, I'm calling it a mobile home park, but it's not what it is. But anyway, they have a motorhome. And so when it gets hot weather, they come up to Indiana to visit family and stuff. And they park their mobile home there. But they live in Arizona. And they have so many friends there and church services and people they meet. And that is the key. Just can't get off by yourself. And you might not be a very social person, but you might be surprised just how social you are when you start getting around a lot of other people. And if you're with older people, you have a lot in common with them. So that's one thing you could do. So we'll talk about something else. All right, what else do we need to consider? How about the climate? I think I like the 4 seasons, but I'm not crazy about the winter when it gets kind of dark early and the coldness. I'm not crazy about that. And that causes you to be shut up in the house. Now, I can handle being shut up pretty good because, well, I've got my YouTube channel to do. I like to paint. I like to read. I don't know, just so many things. I don't have any big problem with that. Except toward the end of winter, you just get a little tired of it and you feel so shut in. So now I do have a relative who, I mean, it really affects her, the winters and the dark, short days. It affects her badly. And so she ended up, her and her family, moving to Florida because of that. Because she's very athletic and uh, she likes to be outside and ride a bike and walk and do things like this. You know, she likes to be very active. And that's hard to do when it's cold weather. So the advantage, of course, you know, in Florida, if you've got the money and it's really hot weather, you can always go north and visit someone for a while, even with your family a little. The other thing to consider is, check online about crime in the area that you want to move. Wish you want to move in a safe place. Myself, we're in Tennessee, and I just feel so safe here. I just have no fear at all. Cost of living and what are the taxes going to be? Make sure that you check about that, and association fees. They can differ immensely. Some of the association fees are very high. So always check on that. Now, myself, I don't like to drive long distances. I get by myself if that's what's going to happen if I lose my husband. I've been widowed before, but I'm not now. I'm married, so he drives me to the doctor and things like that. But I don't mind if they're not too far. But I've had to go a long ways to get to the hospital or a doctor or dentist or for eye care. So check into that to see just about how close you are to all of these things, or even for an emergency care. Another thing to consider is shopping. That's a bit of a problem where I'm at. There's just not good shopping. I mean, to really shop, I'm talking about women shop for clothes and things like that, you probably have to drive about 40 miles, and then that's 40 miles back. So I end up buying a lot of things on Amazon, which you can do that too. And if you have other friends or some ladies who don't mind driving, you could drive together and go shopping. But consider that. How about churches? Is there going to be, check your area out to make sure that whatever church you prefer, that they have one in your area. But a lot of the retirement places, they, in like the modular home, that's what I was trying to say before, like modular. Anyway, Parkview. Modular home, Parkview. But they have churches there where people of all denominations just get together. And that's nice too. It really is. Make sure if you have a dog that you get in an area that's dog friendly, because it'll just make you absolutely miserable if you get out and have problems with people with your dog. And if you're planning on getting a dog, make sure it's a little dog and that you get the dog used to being boarded so that you are not tied down. Now, my dog is 13 years old. She was about 12 years old when Mr. Bill and I got married. She was not used to being boarded. But what we would do is take her to the it's called Bed and Biscuit. We'd take her there for the day sometimes, just for the day. Just, a few hours and then come and get her. And she got used to it gradually, and now she has no problem with it. We can go for days if we have to. Let's see, walking trails. If you're able to walk or you want to start walking, make sure they have a walking trail. Oh, that is really great. You'll meet people. And what if you have a walking trail where you can take your dog too? That's the best of both worlds, isn't it? It's in September and we're getting a little bit of the fall stuff out. I'm on my front porch. They're cutting grass. I hope that doesn't bother you. But another thing I thought of that they have is what they call granny pods. Well, to me, that is kind of like the Amish do. They have the family, the younger family, they have the main big house they live in, and usually behind the house, they build a small house for their parents as they age. That's pretty nice because you have your privacy. So if you have a child who does have property like that, that might work too. And it might be you don't have to be there all the time. If you've got the money and you could be maybe just in a condominium somewhere else, or if you want to get off by yourself, you can do that. It's just another option. Then there's what they call a 55 plus community club. They have a pool, there's no kids allowed, the dues are a little higher, the groups are a little bit smaller. Then what about an RV retirement? There's a lot of people who love to travel and have RVs. I have some friends that do that. They've done this for years. But they have RV retirement parks where when you're through traveling, you're not going to do that anymore. I mean, you could if you want to, but you're like, want to settle down? You can always retire and move to an RV park. Get to know a lot of people, have your RV, and they have some beautiful RVs now. I mean, if you wanted to sell your house and get a really nice one. Of course, that wouldn't be if you're widowed, unless you're very adventuresome, which I hope we all try to be. So I think on my next video, I'm going to talk about the style of homes that I have lived in through the years and the pros and cons of them. That'll probably be in my next video if I get that in here. Okay, bye-bye folks. Let me know if you have anything to add to this, what your plans are going to be. I mean, are you widowed or are you just older and you're thinking about, well, one day I'm going to be widowed, what am I going to do? I'll tell you the truth. I think about it because I'm a planner. And once I make the plans about what I'm going to do, I mean, I don't want to be making those plans when I'm all upset. And if I ever lose Mr. Bill and I'm all upset and making emotional, I want to make the plans now. But you know, I know sometimes our best laid plans just don't work out. They sound good at the time, but something else will come up later that will work out even better. But just remember, God has our future. And we can make our plans, so nothing wrong with that. But make sure you include Him in it. And watch for Him to open or close doors. And it'll be okay, ladies. And for those of you who are widowed, I'm so sorry. I really am. It's horrible. But you're not alone. There's a lot of us out here. You might even get acquainted on here. Just start helping each other out, okay? All right. Don't forget to maybe like. That'll help me. Bye-bye.